Hello students, this is the second video of chapter 1 of software engineering. In previous video we have discussed some introductory things regarding software engineering. In general terms, software engineering is the engineering approach to the software development. Why we need this engineering approach? Let us see one example. Uh, for the construction of the building or for the construction of house, contractors are there. So contractor is not really expert in the house building. So whenever there is a construction for any house, the civil engineer makes a plan for that. It makes necessary things, planning, designing, and then he give the instruction to the contractor for the construction of that particular house. So contractor has limited knowledge of the construction. If you ask the contractor to build a simple house of 1 room or 2 room, he can easily construct that house very well. But if you ask the constructor to build a large 50 storage commercial complex, then whatever the knowledge contractor have, it finds it difficult to make a plan, or it finds it difficult to how to proceed for this particular large construction. But if civil engineer is there, he can have the knowledge of engineering principle or engineering practices which are get adopted to build this large commercial complex. So if contractor tries to build this large complex, in that case he surely will get failed. The same thing is applicable for software development. So if you are asked to develop a small program, maybe 50 lines code, maybe 100 line or up to 200 line, you can easily develop that particular code. But if you are asked to develop a professional software, in that case whatever the knowledge you have for coding, it is not sufficient to produce the large scale software with the quality. So in this case also, whenever the large professional softwares are get developed, there should be some engineering approach should be there to develop that particular software. So for example, suppose you are expertise in C programming, and you are asked to build a program for binary search or for sorting, then you can easily develop that. But if you are asked to develop the compiler, the whole compiler in C with the help of C language, then you will find it difficult how to manage this large functionality into that particular software. So there must be some engineering systematic approach for the software development, that how you should proceed for these particular things. So we need a engineering approach to develop the large software. Then next point is why to study software engineering. So to acquire the skills to develop the large program. You are having the skills to develop the small programs, but now whenever after your graduation, when you are going to develop the professional software in IT companies, in that case you must have the skills to develop the large scale programs. So with this skill you are able to handle you are able to handle exponential growth in the complexity with size. So when you acquire this particular skill, you are able to handle the complexity or the complex software development which are with the large size. You have the systematic techniques based on the abstraction, modeling and decomposition. So you will get the idea, or you will get the techniques which are based on the modeling. We can say abstract models. So first we develop the abstract model for the software, and then we proceed further for the actual development. Decomposition means you are dividing your software into the different modules, and then these modules are individually get developed, and then it is get integrated into a single software. So you will get systematic technique based on the abstraction and the decomposition. You will learn the systematic techniques of development process, specification, procedural design, object modeling, object oriented design and testing. So all these things, development process, specification, we will cover this in during this particular course of software engineering. When you study software engineering, you acquire the skills to be a better programmer. Now also you are a good programmer, but when you study this software engineering, you will get the new approach for the software development. So when you get this particular skill, when you acquire this particular skill, whatever the programs you develop, that programs are the quality programs, and once your products or the programs are quality one, there must be the higher productivity for your programs. So these are the things that you are going to achieve when you complete this particular course of the software engineering. So next point is software crisis or the software failure. So why there is a software failures? We will discuss this particular point. So many professional softwares got failed after they were launched into the market. Why this software crisis or failure is there? Because whatever the products you develop, their performance is bad or their performance is not good as per the expectation of the user. If you see the particular picture in the diagram, so if you observe this particular diagram, what this picture indicates, it is one of the reasons for the software failure. In this picture, the system is given with the shape which is diamond shape. So the customer system or the capacity of the system is denoted with the diamond shape, whereas whatever the software you have developed, that is of the shape circle. So how your software, circle shape software, is going to fit into that particular system which is having the different shape. So this indicates that there is a mismatch between what software can deliver and the capacities of the computer system as well as the expectation of their user. So this why this software is whatever the software is built, because user has given their expectation. So why there is mismatch? This mismatch is due to many reasons, that whenever the customer represents their needs, they may get wrongly interpreted by the software developer, or maybe the customer talk to the manager and then manager will give that task to the software developer. So in between that, the interpretation may get wrong. So or maybe there may be a communication gap. Due to that software specifications are not according to the customer's expectation. So this is one of the reason for the software failure, that there is a mismatch between what software can deliver and what are the capacities of computer system as well as the user expectation. This became a growing problem in the 20th century as there is a technology advances, and so when we have the advanced technologies, the user expectations are increased. That user want many of the functionality, many of the things that should be get incorporated into the software due to this technological advancement. Users expectations are growing day by day, and so this problem of mismatch or this problem of software failures is a growing problem today. Pressure to produce the complex and advanced code can be a significant contributor to the software crisis. Yes, you already know that whenever in the working environment of the IT industries, when their product release date is there, whatever the product they are developing, there must be some deadline or release date. At that particular date, the team has to release that particular product or give the presentation to the customer that your product is now ready and it is working like this. So when these deadlines are there, the software developer has to extend their working hour, 10 hours, 12 hours, 15 hours they has to work, because they have to follow the deadlines. So there is a pressure, and again the demands from the user side are complex one, or they are increasing day by day. So it is difficult to manage all these things, and so that might be one of the reasons for the software failure. Software crisis. So one reason for the software crisis is the cost. So your what we say, your software must be cost effective software. So when we consider, objective or the outcome of the software engineering is that you should provide a quality software. So which are the different attributes for the quality software, or which software we call it as a quality software? So there are different parameters on which the performance of the particular software is get judged. One is your software should be efficient, that it will give you the efficient result. Whatever the results are there, the within a fraction of second, it will give you the output, so that we consider this software as a quality software. It should be reliable. Your software should be reliable. Whatever the services it should provide, that should be correct or accurate one. So we say that your software is reliable. Your software should be reusable. Your software should be maintainable. So whatever the changes customer need, it should be easily get incorporated into the software. So it should be maintainable. It should be portable. So there should not be any device dependency or platform dependency for your software. So your software should be portable. And lastly, your software should be cost effective. So these are some of the attributes of the good software: reliable, reusable, efficient, maintainable, cost effective, and the portable. So when we say your softwares are cost effective, nowadays the situation is there, your software is cost is going to as compared to hardware, softwares are expensive. Why this is so? When we consider in this particular diagram, if you see this diagram, previously the hardware cost was very large. So the companies which are investing or which are having their expenses, the large expenses are on the hardware, because at that time hardware was in boom, or hardware is there which performs or which satisfy the user's need. But nowadays, whatever the functionalities or whatever the things the hardware provide can be get provided with the help of software. And it is easy, because hardware development will have the different limitations. Like whenever we have to incorporate more functionality to the hardware, the cost as well as the material required for this particular hardware, the size of the hardware, there are many limitations to the hardware. These physical limitations are not there in the software. The changes are get incorporated into the software very easily. There should not be any size limit that we have the limited size, because due to advancement we have the huge memory capacity also. The processing capacity is also good. Computational capacity is also good, because we have the powerful processors are there. So due to this advancement, now it is easy to develop a software instead of the hardware. Again, there is a we need to have the whenever we have to move the hardware, we need to have the transportation of hardware from one place to another. This is not the case with the software. So day by day the use of software or the demand of the software is increasing, but the cost, at the same time the cost is also increasing. Previously in 1960s, the hardware cost was very high. So when here hardware cost divided by the software cost, that ratio is very high whenever we consider 1960. But as the day there is an advancement, as the year passes, 2018, 2019, 2020, this hardware to divided by cost, software cost ratio is going to be decreased, because nowadays software cost is very high. If you consider the laptop or a desktop, nowadays we can get this at the cost of 45,000. But if you consider before 10 years, then very few people have that particular laptops or the desktops, because at that time the hardware was very costly. Nowadays this hardware cost is less. Now we have smartphones with more advanced or more sophisticated smartphones are there. Every student have its own smartphone. But before 10 years, there are very rare people who have this particular smartphones. So if you compare the hardware and software, this is the Rational Suit Node Lock. This is one software, Rational Suit, whose cost is 3,14,000. And if you have the floating license, its cost for that will be 6 lakhs approximately. So hardware are less costly, or hardwares are less expensive than the software. If you consider the MATLAB is one software whose cost is 1,55,000. If you consider ERP software, its cost is also there very high. So whenever we have this software, why the softwares are costly because